Hey ladies, it's Sydney from Syddin Pretty here, and I am currently sitting in a hotel room in Phoenix, Arizona. I was booked for one of my clients' weddings out here, and I caught the bouquet effortlessly. It was hilarious. And I'm gonna use it as a metaphor. I went out there and I'm like, ooh, a bouquet. And wasn't really thinking too hard on it. I'm not really a competitive person, so I'm just like, ooh, fun. Bouquet. How often do you get to go to a wedding? Everybody else is like, ooh, I'm getting this bouquet, real competitive. I think that's what the typical when you do the bouquet at weddings. But it was a metaphor. It's interesting how when you have when you have a mindset of if it happens, it happens, it just seems like things just flow so easily. Anyways, I wanted to talk about why I personally do not like frontals. Every now and then I do get a inquiry about a frontal. I would say maybe once a week. And I'm always straight up, no, I do not do frontals. And usually people ask me why, and I tell them why. So I'm going to tell you all why I do not like frontals. To start off with, I feel like frontals look very unnatural. And what I find is, unless your hairline looks like that naturally, when I see them in person and on Instagram, they look very unnatural to me. And I don't care how melted it looks. If you can't see the grid on the lace, no matter what it is, they look very obvious and fake to me when applied on a hairline that does not naturally look like that. And when I mean naturally look like that, I'm talking about the shape, I'm talking about the density of the hairline, and I'm talking about the texture. And I don't think a lot of people realize this because I'm sure they don't care, but our eyebrows, our lashes, they tell a different story. They all are, well, let me say this. Our hair on our heads, our eyebrows, our lashes on our body, they all tell the same story usually. But when you have a frontal on, your eyebrows and your lashes tell a different story. So I don't know if that makes sense, but if you look at my eyebrows and you look at my lashes, they make sense for the hair on my head. But if you took a hairline that looked like Angelina Jolie's and put it on me, my super curly lashes and my curly eyebrows, coarse eyebrows, are going to tell a different story. So I think subconsciously it does make it look very obvious. So that's my number one reason for not doing frontals. I don't like the way they look. And I did used to do frontals early on when they first really started to get popular outside of lace fronts in Miami. And I liked them for a while, but moving on to the second reason, they're extremely high maintenance. And see, I want my clients to come back, and I love to see them, but I don't want you calling me every 3 days wondering why your lace is lifting, or you calling me a week later talking about, oh, it's not staying. Frontals are extremely high maintenance. I don't think enough stylists who do frontals disclose that, and it catches a lot of women off guard. So frontals are very high maintenance. I don't like being bothered outside of the normal 2-week window. I don't like to feel like somebody feels cheated, or I don't like that feeling. So for me, I avoid styles like that. In my opinion, if you're not Beyonce, or it's not your wedding, your prom, you're in theater, there's no real reason for you to be wearing a frontal every day. Frontals are not day-to-day wear, and I think that's what people don't realize. So moving on to my fourth reason, I don't know if this is the third or the fourth. Moving on to my next reason, they're not economically feasible. They don't make sense economically to me. With the regular traditional sew-in, now I have clients who spend a lot of money on their weave and they will not reuse the hair because they just don't like to. But for the most part, you spend a good amount of money, you invest in some quality hair. That hair could last you anywhere from like 6 months to 2 years, depending on the hair and how well you take care of it. You can even get sometimes a few wears out of a lace closure, but unless a frontal is on a wig cap, you know, it's like one of the most expensive pieces, but it does not last. So for me, the installations are expensive and the piece is expensive, and you have to get them done super frequent. So for me, I'm going to say I don't like them as well because they don't make sense economically. Even if you got it like that, I don't see why I would want to waste the money on a hairline that's not mine. So obviously, for women who struggle with alopecia and cancer and things like this, I'm not talking about them. But for the day-to-day woman who 9 times out of 10 is not dealing with this, these are my reasonings for not liking frontals. So, what do you all think? Do you like frontals? Have you worn a frontal? What was your experience with the frontal? Would you get a frontal? Have you considered trying a frontal? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I have a goal of meeting 1,000 subscribers by the end of May of this year. So if you can share this video and also give it a like, that would be helpful. And don't forget, new videos will be uploaded Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 p.m. Pacific time. So thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you all later.